This is what he's talking about, because it may not be criminal to him because he was not in his right state of mind. But in a real sense, it increases the level of crime. Or someone that is abusing substances is no more getting funds to abuse this substance, but eventually, okay. So eventually, this person may engage in pilfering, maybe stealing. So if he's caught, definitely is criminal. You understand? And he may be conflicted for it. The negative impact of premature mortality. Someone that is on substance and he drives, he can kill himself. Likewise, some other people that are in the car with the person may lose their life. These are just changes which I have discussed along the line with my experiences that we can work on. And the thing that I have not talked about is natural disaster. You know, flood. If we listen to radio last night, there was a house at Pakata area that was raised, and they were calling for the firefighters to come and quench the fire. This can actually bring about mental illness. In someone, probably you kept properties, and this property got bombs, and you start thinking, where do you start from again? This can bring about excessive thinking and then lead to mental illness. Conflict and war. Boko Haram, you can't compare the people that are in Ilorin with the people in Maiduguri that have faced the war or see their parents being killed in cold blood. So these are the things that can lead to mental illness. Yeah, there are protective factors. I've said enough about the risk factors. What are the protective factors? There are things that modify, that ameliorate or alter the person's response to some environmental hazard that predisposes you to maladaptive outcome. Maladaptive outcome means, yes, the normal reaction to something. You feel sad, you get, but you are expected that the sadness should not long-lived, should be short-lived, so that you can carry on with your daily activities. So all these factors, they can be together and cause mental illness. No single factor can make someone come down with mental illness. The biological, the psychological, and the upbringing aspects. Most of the times, they are usually present in an individual, all these factors together. Yes, we can actually prevent mental illness. And how do we prevent it? Yes. This is academic failure. You understand? How do you avoid academic failure? We all know. I don't need to tell you. You need to be ready. You gain admission, so you are expected to have good GP so that they won't ask you, they will expel you from the school. You understand? Because some of these patients that we see, they actually have one or two things to talk about their past. Then sometimes when someone is sick, you want to care for the person, it can actually predispose you to having mental illness and insomnia if you are not sleeping very well. Some people do complain of pains, and this pain can be deteriorating in the sense that they may not be able to get themselves, and suddenly they may come down with depression, isolation, displacement. We all know. Then access to drugs. If you are taking all these drugs, I've earlier explained, and alcohol, it can make you have mental illness. So, then lack of education, transport, and housing. The way we are going to see things for those of us that go through the wall of the school, it will be far much different from someone who did not even go to school. Yes, subhanallah. We have our forefathers, our mothers in the past who did not go to school, but they have good moral teaching. But there is always a difference. If they are the one that give birth to you, you have that, you get that moral from them, and you now go to school with it. Definitely, you'll be super for it. Peer rejection. You have friends, suddenly they said they don't want to be friends with you again. You can be thinking about that. So you have to find a way to come out of your shell. Poverty, poor social circumstances, racial injustice and discrimination. This is communal perspective. The socially disadvantaged individual. Yes, you are a migrant. You relocated to a place and you feel like you are being secluded. They are not allowing you to carry out activities. You are from the minority. These are the things. Then teenage pregnancy. This is very important to us because when we are not ready physically and psychologically, definitely is the disadvantage that we'll get rather than getting the advantage. Elder abuse. Yes, the teaching of every religion is we should respect the elders. So an elderly that is abused definitely may, if it's persistent, they tend to come down with some of these mental illness. Violence, social incompetence, poor work skills and habits. So we need to improve ourselves. Family conflict and disorganization. You don't expect a parent or a child that grew up with parents who are loving and a child that is, always seeing the parent fighting. There will always be difference. So to our mothers, we should learn to allow peace to reign in every situation. And the fathers. Substance use during pregnancy. These are the major aspects. Loneliness. Let's avoid being lonely. Low birth weight. I'm just, there are medical terms that I can give to all these things, but I made it as simple, succinct as they are, so I'll be able to understand from all the explanation from the beginning. You understand? We are running against time. Then what are the protective factors? Ability to cope with stress. If you have low ability to cope with stress, most likely, subhanallah. Let's try. And indeed, after hardship, there is ease. Quran 94, verse 6. So let's always believe that no condition is permanent. That's the fair statement I would say to us. Then adaptability. You are in a new place. Relax. Check the environment. Look at how they do there. Don't just jump and start behaving the way you are. That's what we call adaptability. How you can get used to situations around you. Always have the feelings of security. That is, you are secured. This place check. Because if you are not secured, definitely you won't have rest of mind. It will increase the anxiety feelings in you. Yeah, schooling is good. Good school. Being literacy is a positive factor. In a positive attachment. But in a way, it will help such individuals. Someone that does not have 100 naira to even live with in a day is having minimum of 5,000 naira a month. If you divide that by 30 days, early bonding. So in a way, that person will be happier. So that's the empowerment, or you are trying to create job for people to do, or improving the common man businesses like cobblers or people that fish by helping them to buy fishing equipment. So social participation, carry people along around you, and then social support and community networks, very, very important. The positive parenting, all these factors. So how we can militate against mental illness? You want to reduce violence in the community, within yourself, school-based bullying, like I've explained to you, workplace bullying and discrimination prevention. These are the things that can help us not to come down or not to be at risk of having a mental illness. Then increase economic participation, adult literacy program for the women or for the men, the elderly, child care programs, work programs, housing, and improve transportation. These are the key sectors that can help us in improving. Sorry, why this slide is like this is because I felt I was coming to talk to I know we are elites, as in the grown-ups. I thought majority of the people I will talk to here would be like 40 and above, and who are lecturers, because that was the impression given to me. So employment, education, housing, then want to do justice, because if you feel cheated, definitely you'll be thinking about it, and that will affect your productivity. Then sporting and recreation activities. At individual level, this is to us, for the benefit of attending this, talk about your feelings to the person you trust. If you are feeling something that you have not been feeling it before, please, we should have one or two people that we are very close with and we can trust them, so you can talk about your feelings. This person from experience will be able to help you. You know, I said the person you trust, because sometimes when you talk about your feelings to someone, your situation might be worse. So keep active. We should be reading. So the Quran is enough for us, even with being in Madrid. Then keep in touch. Please keep in touch. We're still addressing the fact that you should talk about your feelings. And if you have seen someone, maybe a psychologist, or you've spoken to your parents, you've spoken to one of your parents, give them feedback. You understand about what you are experiencing currently. Then ask for help. Yes, peradventure there is problem already with all these signs. You've seen all these signs, they are happening to you. Please seek for help. If you are stressed up, please take a break. In any situation you find yourself, you continue doing this thing and you are not happy doing it, please take a break. Do something you are good at. Something you are good at, I mean, is something that is halal. That if people see you with, they will say, continue. Best of luck. Rather than doing wrong things. In conclusion, stable mental wellness is not just the absence of mental illness. We would have deduced that from the lecture. You understand? your emotional aspect of it too is important. You are here, you are always absent-minded. It's not good. So ask yourself. Changing physical, cultural, socio-economic factors have significant effects on mental health of the individual and the society. Effort at promoting stable mental health is multi-sectorial. I've explained that earlier. Mental disorders are common, we should know. When you leave this lecture, you might likely be seeing people. Please, if you have the opportunity to advise them appropriately, advise them, let them seek help. Then prevention is better and safer than cure. Thank you very much. And Islamic perspective. Astaghfirullah. I may not be able to address it properly because the scope of the lecture was not properly communicated to me. So if you still have questions, you can ask, but inshallah I'll try my best to address appropriately.
Hello, is that my phone?
Let's sit up, sisters. Let's demonstrate our wellness. Are we well?
Yes.
Let's stand up and demonstrate our wellness.
Mentally and physically.
Yes, it's been a long day, but the day has been very, very beneficial. Let's stand up. Let us stretch. Let's stretch. Once more. Now let us appreciate our brother by saying Jazakumullahu khairan. Again. Again. Inna atoina. Inna atoina kakausa. Wasote de Rabbika wanhar. Inna sha'inaka huwa al-abtar. You could see that he was loaded and it took his time to offload, and we all enjoyed him. May Allah continue to reward you and grant you beneficial knowledge, inshallah. Now he has delivered. It's now time for us to ask questions. Please, if there are areas that you expected him to speak to that he had not touched, this is an opportunity for us to let him speak on that area. Yes, I want to see all of us on that before I ask us to sit down. Now we can sit down, please. Then our mother will be asking the first question. Some have been forwarded to you. Please, let's put our questions down on sheets of paper and pass to him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank our brother so much, and we believe that we cannot thank you enough, and we beseech Allah to thank you for us sufficiently by increasing you in knowledge, by increasing you spiritually, mentally, socially, financially, and everything that you can think about. May Allah spare your life and give you good health to live that long life. My first question might be funny or not so relevant. Does depression have to do with menopause, age?
does it have to do with that? That is first question. The second one,
I think I'm into a kind of fantasy, and I want to ask you your take on that. There is this fantasy about an individual being given two mechanisms to choose either to do good or do bad. And this fantasy is about you always obeying one of the mechanisms. So somebody said, if you continually obey one, there is this tendency of that one suppressing the other one. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah, I'm getting.
People believe that every individual has two mechanisms that can be obeyed or disobeyed. And they believe that if, as an individual, you are the type that will always want to obey, especially the bad one, that there is this tendency of that one suppressing the good one, so much so that you might not want to do any good again. I don't know what you have to say about that, whether it is medical or not. The third one, is it normal for an individual to sleep habitually for only 4 hours and for years? It's been for about 8-9 years now. The individual has been sleeping 4 hours, at most 5 hours, and is becoming an habit or something. Then I think I learned something about cerebral malaria or fever. Does it have the tendency to cause depression? Or, okay, is it a sign of mental illness? Let me put it down. Then you were saying something about some things causing mental illness, and I didn't think I heard you mentioning Masna as part of it. Polygamy. Because we think we have been having cases like that. That every time you trace that mental illness, it has always been attached to something like that. Is there any connectivity? I want to know. Thank you, sir.
So I want you to permit me to start from questions before going to the 3 previously sent questions. Depression and age. So it is expected but
she's talking about the Yoruba people will say because of the heat, because of old age.
that one is different. That one is dementia, delirium. Is
it still an aspect of mental health?
Yes, it's an aspect of it. That's why I made mention of elderly abuse. Elderly abuse, an elderly maybe visits you or visit them, or they visit us anytime, anyhow. So if you now stop them from doing that, or because of the situation around you, you say, Mama, I don't want you to come. And Mama is willing to change the environment. So he or she will start thinking about that situation. That might affect that. Look at the child, I suffered so much to take care of. And these things happen. But for the Onushanon case, it's another perspective. Because of old age, the brain and the brain rigid are not strong like before. So there will be lapses in their thoughts. They want to remember something they couldn't remember. They kept money somewhere. They will search everywhere, they are not seeing the money. And they want to buy something. They start feeling low. And this, if care is not taken, they may come up with depression.
So what's the solution?
The solution is to bring them to the hospital. There are medications we'll give them. But depending on the time they come to the hospital, if it has taken longer, it can only be addressed that the condition will not get worse. There is who did take care of that. They are specialists in that, and we have them in Ilorin here. So there is connection between depression and old age. So it's actually happening. But when they come, we ask them various questions that may make them say this person is depressed. Then this issue of fantasy, this two mechanism, yes, we all have the propensity to do good or do otherwise. So when we enjoy what we are doing, like I explained to you that everything in life is either you are doing too little, or you are doing too much, or you are in the middle. That's why it has always been stated that too much of everything is not good. So this mechanism of good or bad, are you convinced that what you are doing is good? If you are not, then change it. Because if you persistently, continually doing bad, definitely the bad will come back to you, whether we like it or not. So I don't want to go into the aspects because we will start to may not be able to, scientifically. So it's better to do good so that the good will continually suppress the bad fantasy. Then for someone who habitually sleep for only 4 to 5 hours in 24 hours, yes, studies have shown that as we grow old, the hours of sleep reduces. Reason being that the things that make us sleep in the brain, the space they occupy before has reduced. Because the brain generally, brain volume reduces as we age. Yes, if they check, they pick a 20-year-old person now, they scan the brain, and someone that is 60, 65-year-old and above, they scan the brain, there will be difference. That's why it's even obvious on our skin. Your skin cannot be as good as someone that is 20 now. So also is happening all over the part of the body. And this will now affect various physiological functioning, such as sleep. That's why you see it's not abnormal. But if you sleep for these 4 to 5 hours, behavior. And fever itself can make the brain misbehave in the sense that you have something in your system, it triggers the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus is the seat for temperature. In order for the body to control that, is a mechanism that Allah has put in place in our system, that if there is foreign body inside our blood, the body should raise the temperature up to kill that thing. So if that thing is not there, or it is there, it's no longer correcting it, the fever will continue. And when it affects the brain, the emotion, cognition, it tends to be cerebral malaria because the toxin has seeped into the brain. Then will you have been causing mental illness? Yes, it is expected. It's a risk factor. I won't say it causes mental illness because it can only cause psychological breakdown in the sense that you expect something from your husband and he didn't try to strike balance between the wives. Definitely, the affected wife might feel depressed that is only giving opportunity to the other wife. In a way, it's a risk factor, but it cannot cause it. That means the person has the genetic predisposition of having mental illness. You know, when we say risk factors, it's different from cause. The things that we do that may make us have this thing, those are the risk factors. Then the things that cause it, they are the things that we can identify that, okay, because he has aberration in the genetic makeup that is inherited from the parents. That is when we say it causes it. Then the question here says that how can one manage non-psychogenic fidgeting or seizures, e.g. feeling of waves in the side of the head or generalized? Yes, you can't manage this alone because you said non-psychogenic, that is, it's not coming from the brain. You are just having this thing. But in a way, there is an entity that we call non-psychogenic epilepsy. So epilepsy may be synonymous to seizure, because seizure itself is the firing from the brain neurons, repeated firing from the brain neurons that is now manifesting a motor component that is making someone to be jerking, either stretching, which is the tonic, then contracting, which is the chronic aspect of it. I would advise such a person to see psychiatrist or psychology so that you can talk it out. Because the non-psychogenic seizure, to my understanding, is likely to be like maybe you have some things you want to achieve, you couldn't achieve it, and you want people around you to help, or you have been interacting with the people around you, they no longer take you serious. So you want them to take you serious. Then it could be attention seeking as well for a particular aid. So there are tests that can be done to you, like electroencephalogram, in order to know whether you are having this seizure really or not. Then they will be able to prescribe for you and guide you appropriately. And the second one is since you said you are referring to the lecturer, since you said not having enough sleep may be a sign of mental illness, what of I think I've been able to address that by answering Elijah's question, that if there are actual things, maybe taking care of the children, cooking, and in a way, by the time they have gone to school, you try to sneak and have some naps, then you can cover for it, because it's what Allah has bestowed on us as women of faith, that you should take care of your homes. Because if you don't take care of your home, you won't enjoy it later in life. I think that has been addressed. Is soliloquizing a mental illness too? No. No, you are expected that once in a while, I told you, I said, if this thing is persistent, it's affecting your functionality, that is when it is termed mental illness. But it shouldn't be always. So you are not expected to be talking loud. It's like a form of thinking.
All the time. I said not all the time.
Not all the time. That when you are soliloquizing and there are so much files in front of you to treat, and you have used the whole of the day doing that, so there is problem. Yes, you understand? On the same vein, the second question: what would be the problem if things does not interest you, and how can one snap out of it? Yes, this is the will within you. Something you don't like, something that is not working for you, do away with it. It's your decision. Except if you are being forced. Like when I said early marriage, what leads to early marriage or teenage pregnancy is because probably you are being forced into it, or you engage in marital affairs. You are not married and you are doing such affairs. Definitely, you are not ready physically and psychologically. And childbirth itself is a trauma. Our mom can testify to it. You understand? And as a child, someone that is in rear and you are attempting to rear a child, there will be trouble. So definitely you have to avoid it. And if you cannot avoid it easily, talk to someone you trust. They will definitely guide you on that. So if one starts noticing some mental illness, should one first tackle it from the spiritual side or clinical side? As a clinician, I would say you should do it clinical side, because I have listed the symptoms. We've seen a couple of cases after doing on Rukia. They've gone through Malams, they did Rukia, and they still eventually refer them to us. After the second Rukia, we usually say, most likely is not. To supersede the medical treatments. So it's better, from my own point of view, and from the little we know about the religious teaching, see the specialists. And astaghfirullah, from my experience, I have not seen any, please quote me, I have not seen any. Even in the north, they do more of these things than the way we do here. We are more learned here. Sorry to say. We tend to see clinician first before going to the other side. For them, they go to the other side more before seeing the clinician. So I've not seen any, despite the repeated repair. Because there are so much enough economic stressors. For someone to come down with mental illness than picking up being afflicted with genes. Because number one, there are things that you do that make you have engine affliction, talking in the toilet, all these things. You can even ask before you even do it. Do you do this? That's how let's leave that because it's a complex issue. Is it one's genetic makeup that one gets fed up easily and gets stressed out easily? I'll say yes. And at the same time, I can say no. Yes, in the sense that you are grown up. You've seen how things are being handled in your own home. The way your mom, your dad behave. Apart from the genetic makeup, you have learned by observation. When they were in a situation, you've seen the way they reacted. So also you will do. So that's the yes aspect of it. No, in the sense that when you get into the environment, or they give you a story about someone who survived psychological attacks or breakdown, and you learn, you emulate from that, or by listening to lectures, people trying to teach you skills, how to cope with environmental stress or problems from your parent or whatever problems you may encounter. That is the no aspect of it, because it's not all that is being born to this particular abnormal genetic makeup that comes down with mental illness. Because there are studies that show that a child that is being reared by a normal parent do better than the one that is being reared by an abnormal parent. They now do this role reversal again. A child that is born by an abnormal parent being reared with a normal parent, the propensity of coming down with mental illness is better, because it is not the abnormal parent that rears the child. So it's not only genetic factor, it's about nurture and nature. So please, I told you, I said there is no particular cause of mental illness. It has to be constellation, as in different kind of factors that we'll discover. What would be the factor when one notices one always finds things difficult to achieve and always make one depressed? Depression, I told you, it's a clinical condition and it has to be on for at least 2 weeks. And there has to be those symptoms I stated: low mood, decreased energy, loss of interest. Please get it. And there are other ancillary symptoms like poor sleep, poor concentration. You are in class, you couldn't concentrate, all sorts of things like this do occur, in addition to those 3 things I mentioned. However, if it is not persistent for 2 weeks, you can't say you are depressed. You understand? Clinically, yes, feeling sad is normal because the situation around you, you will not control it. But what do? Do things that make you feel good. By that, you can, and things that you want to achieve and you couldn't do anything about it, please allow it, let it be. Better things will come. I told you, no condition is permanent. Could you feature back when you are very young? Take your picture and look. Could you reason out what you are thinking at that point in time and compare it to what you are thinking right now? If someone abused you now, the way you will behave will be different from the way you behaved previously. That's the way life is. So all these things is meant for you to teach you lesson. Don't allow it to make you bitter. That's the lesson about life, because you will definitely outlive it, and you say Alhamdulillah at the end. So don't always feel depressed. If you are battling with a situation, just let it be if you can't do anything about it. Then how can one determine if the cause of mood change could be hormonal, and how can one snap out of it? Yes, I love this question because it's not usual in this, and as women, you are expected to have some of these things, especially very close to your period or after the period, but it shouldn't be every month. If it's coming up every month, then you need to see a doctor. With all these symptoms, it will come with agitation, you will be so restless, sometimes you will just be irritable, abusive, all these things. But once the period starts flowing, the thing disappears. It's as a result of the hormones. You know, the usual hormone there, estrogen, progesterone, if there is so much imbalance in that, we shouldn't talk much about that. It could be, but it's not usually mental illness, it's just seasonal. Do one need to train oneself to be multitasking? And how can multitasking not lead to stress that will weigh one down? Why? Why should you? It's good to be multitasking, but if your brain cannot cope with that, please just reduce it to the ones you can handle. The way life is going now, they are looking for specialists, not someone that can do so much. Because they believe that if you can do so much, you won't be good at it. So anything that will stress you out, stress itself is a problem. Don't allow stress to take over you. Thank you very much for that intelligent questions. And the last one. Is it possible for depression to prevent one from concentrating and understanding while reading? Yes, I've said that in passing. Hence, what is the solution in this case? The solution is simple. If you try to take your mind off it by engaging in the things I listed earlier, proper adequate sleeping, eating well, balanced diet, engaging in social activities. If you're still not
on our website, sisters, those who are single, hello, stand up.
Let's do some exercise. Everybody stand up.
Yeah. Breathe in. Breathe in. Out. In.
With your feet still pointing in front, turn left. Turn left. With your feet still planted, facing forward. Turn left. Left. Turn as far left as you can. As far as you can. Turn back. Then right. Turn as far as you can. Really far. Let's see. Really, really far.
We are not turning far.
Good. Then turn back. Good. Let's sit down.
Yes. There is one thing I'm able to pick today, that our daughters, our children should Yes, assistant. Stigma.
Like the judge talked, did someone like this bad person. So even when I say bad person, they even like,
yes, I know that one. Please, we love you. You don't know how much we love you. Please, and you can confide in us. I'm going to read out the contact here. Pick your pen and write it down. 080 34 508 413. That is Dr. Sandra Bank. 34 508 413. Doctor, this is Paki. Faculty of Communication, CIS. 082 33 84 85 04 04 33 84 85 04. Elijah Olagunju. 080 33 53 22 59. Dr. Mrs. Fulupe Aliyu, Faculty of Arts. I should take that again. 080 33 53 22 59. Then 080 33 953 944. Again, 080 33 953 944. That is my name, Dr. Mrs. H. Faculty of Education. We have other people that we can also give, but because we are in academics, the four of us, we are dealing with you directly. And let me also tell you this. If our daughter should call me and tell me something, I'm not going to discuss that issue with her. So also our daughter, that the mommy, I don't want to discuss this with my mom, I want to share this with you. No matter what, I will take it upon myself to solve that problem. I'm not going to discuss with her, except the child later discuss. But I will not. Just to let you know the extent we can protect your integrity, your personal life. So it's not something you're going to display on the market. Hey, no, your success is our joy. See you going astray. You are not gaining anything. You are Muslim. We are also mothers. You are children. Our success lies in your own success too. And there is no pride in saying, I've never failed in my life. Failure is part of life. I keep on emphasizing this. Oh, because you have missed the road along the life. What tells you that you cannot get it right? I'm better than those who have never missed it in life. Most of our children, they are having issues with relationship and their career. Those are the two major issues there. Relationship, career. And they go into any lengths solving problem. And alhamdulillah, we have seen lots of people around us that have shared terrible cases that I will not disclose here. As bad as anything. You can never imagine, just put in your brain how bad it could be. And today, they have outgrown it, and they are doing fine. So, what is it? Do not bottle up things in your mind. I share your feelings that you may not like to discuss with your mom. Maybe emotionally, she may not be able to cope with it. But find somebody that you can trust.
as she was pounding furiously, and the sky got angry, and that is why the sky is so far away from the earth. So these are stories that we create, and they are false, no foundation at all. So when you say you're afraid of being judged, could it be that you're already judging the person that you're going to talk to yourself? Do you understand me? Could it be that you're already judging yourself, the person that you're going to talk to? He or she may not even judge you. So take that step. Don't keep it in. Don't be afraid of stigmatization. People will always stigmatize things they don't understand. I have experienced a lot of that in my life. To the extent I was a TV presenter, you know, to the extent that a colleague of mine, male, came to meet me one day and said, "Where did you get the strength from? They're saying these things about you and you still go on air to read the news." I said, "So that's them. They are talking. My life, they don't know anything about it." Do you understand? You know, so it's don't create myths. Be realistic and look for realistic solutions. Don't judge people. If you don't want to be judged, don't judge. Talk to her, talk to him. This is what I mean here, your brother, your father, your uncle. This is my problem. And normally, before you take any step, pray and put everything in the hands of God. And you will see that the person that you're going to talk to will be giving you the solution that you need. Thank you.
Then to our doctor for medical attention. Brother, we just need your help here. Please, for Allah's sake, any of our sisters here can come to. Please give us audience. Maybe just ordinary, if it needs financial commitments, don't worry, Allah will provide for us. But that we need to have established relationship and circumstances that people can really see somebody they can talk to. This thing is becoming epidemic. May Allah help us. So take his contact 080 38 58 14 48 and 48. Dr. Mahmoud. Why? Is that Yusuf? Okay, you can Mahmoud. Okay. So, we have done our own part. It's left to you to also explore this opportunity. Then you do not let it end there. You have friends, you have families going through the same problem. Please talk to them and give them opportunity that there are sisters there, there are mothers there, that they are ready for you. Their doors are open. At any time, knock. If you don't even need to knock, come to my house, call my phone, I'll be available. Call on go, inshallah, call on family and Yasalafia. We'll never get tired of you.
Next session.
On this note, we are come to one town solidarity. I do a lot of people are not solidarity. You can't share, you can't make a law, call on cook the law, call on push our law. Subhanallah, no faster. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim, ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim. Amen. Abu Tawi, sister will come. Before, while we are escorting our brother, please just remind our approach, Amalo. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. So, brother, that's happened like that. Just assistant.
platform. Please give your name and numbers to Azizat. So she will add you. It's a WhatsApp platform.